So the other thing then, looking at it from the other end of the scale, is, well, how do you make that safe? You know, how do you manipulate, because this is brilliant for really, really fine hairs, perhaps lighter skin types 1, 2, 3, but when you start to get into skin types 4 and 5, you know, then we actually need our IPL to function very differently. Most other IPLs have a fixed pulse train. They deliver 2 pulses or 3 pulses, sometimes 4 pulses, and you can't vary that, and that makes it really limited. Whereas with the Lynton system, you can do anything from 2 to up to 6 pulses, depending on which device that you have. And having 6 pulses then means that we can deliver the light in a way that really maximises the skin protection.
What we're trying to do in our treatment, make sure the hair shaft gets hot enough that it's destroyed, that the hair shaft itself dies and get rid of the hair. But of course, we're trying to protect the epidermis. We don't want to damage the skin itself, do we? So we put in a sequence of pulses. First pulse goes in, everything gets a bit hotter. But the epidermis, the melanin there is much, much smaller. It's also based near the surface of the skin. We put gel on the tissue, and it takes the heat out of the epidermis very quickly. So if we put a little delay into our sequence, we can let the epidermis cool a bit, whereas the hair follicle itself, that's much bigger, isn't it? Remember, like a hot bath, that stays hotter for longer. So then we let the next pulse go in, and then it cools down again in the epidermis, but the hair shaft itself gets a little bit hotter. And we do a sequence of pulses, one after the other, because what we're doing is bit by bit, we're increasing total heat of the hair shaft. Every pulse goes in, creates heat in the hair shaft. The hair shaft doesn't have a chance to cool down sufficiently before the next pulse arrives, so it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter. Whereas each of those little delay times that we put into the sequence allows the epidermis to cool down. We've got a great big hair shaft there in the skin, full of melanin. We also have some melanin in the epidermis. Now, if we take a long pulse duration and zap in light, now if this pulse duration is too long, what will happen is the light goes in, it starts to get absorbed by the melanin, and it turns into heat. That's great, that's what we want. We're trying to keep all of that heat just in the hair shaft itself, because we don't want it to come out and damage all the skin around it. Or for example, if you have a very fine hair, you want to confine it onto that hair shaft when it's very thin, because if the heat comes out too much, you never get to the high enough temperatures to cause damage. I hope that makes sense. So a long pulse would be great if you've got big, thick hair and very white skin, for example. If you had a much lighter coloured hair, I want to now make sure all of that energy gets into that hair follicle. That's fine, I've chosen the right wavelength. But if I have a long pulse, as the energy is going in, it's leaking out. It's like having a bucket with a hole in the bottom and pouring water in the top, and it's leaking out at the same time, and never get the bucket full enough and never get enough heat into the hair shaft to cause that damage permanently, to destroy the cells. Now, if I use a very short pulse, that's like I've still got a bucket with a hole in, but I fill it up so quick that it gets high enough quickly. Does that make sense? Before the water can leak away. And that's what you do with a short pulse of light. The light zaps in, the temperature rises quickly, and it's not had time to thermally come out of the hair shaft. And so all that energy now creates a strong enough heat, a temperature high enough to destroy that fine hair that's very, very difficult to do with any other technique. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you've got the same wavelength in the IPL. If you cannot deliver the light in that incredibly short pulse, then you'll be limited just treating certain types of hair.
We are extremely unique in that we can achieve a sub-millisecond pulse. So if you look at a pulse sequence like this from the Lynton IPL towards the bottom of the screen here, you've got a pulse and a delay, a pulse and a delay, and each one of those pulses has an on time, so that's the short pulse of less than, it can be, depending on how you set the machine up, it can be less than 1 millisecond. So it is rapid heating. It's the reason why dermatologists in NHS hospitals buy Lynton IPL to treat their vascular concerns like the rosacea, like the port wine stains. It's why our IPLs are very popular in NHS sites for that reason. And in the treatment room, it just gives you exceptional results.